We gotta go back.
SK14.
I'm not a leftist, I'm a liberal, and we should just talk to each other. Okay, but what are we gonna talk about? Because you don't want to talk to people like me. You don't want to talk to anybody who's got anything to say. You want to talk to Jewy Jewstein, who says,
Got a lot of questions about Israel in the last week.
Yeah.
I apologize for my defense of our greatest ally in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I will not apologize.
We know you won't, bitch.
That my
Epic,
Israel
epic.
shut up, you bitch. This guy's the biggest scum-sucking, anti-American loser, traitor.
Who likes Cardi B? 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 Who likes Cardi B?
He's mad. He's mad. Look at that shriveled up little face.
Who likes Cardi B? Who likes
Eat a gamer moment.
SK14.
in the last week.
Yeah.
I apologize for my defense of our greatest ally in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I will not
Yeah.
apologize.
We know you won't, bitch.
That. But I'm always just very puzzled at times when I get the amount
I'm
of
so
attention
puzzled.
that
I'm so
comes
puzzled all the
from
time.
the Middle East, the only place where all three monotheists,
Somebody's got to go Joker mode.
Who likes Cardi B? Who likes Cardi B?
Welcome back to the Death by Tyranny podcast. Been a while since we've been live on YouTube. Most of the stuff we talk about, we can't do on YouTube, unfortunately. A lot of it relates to the Second Amendment, and, YouTube doesn't like guns. We here at Death by Tyranny podcast do like guns. And then there was a short time where the rules changed for what you could and couldn't talk about via a virus for a while there. But today I feel it's important because rather than go to Facebook where I have a very small viewership, and even if the viewership was at its largest, it's still a fraction of what it can potentially be over here on YouTube. What I want to talk about is the amount of time and energy and financial pandering that is going on in the United States when it comes to a lot of these mainstream companies, even in the small local companies. It seems like this year, for whatever reason, it's been like a infectious virus almost. Like, one person puts a new gay tranny flag in their window, and then the company next to them catches that stupidity pandering virus and then puts their stupid flags in their window to try to pander more money from a that they're not victimless by any means, but a community that likes to go after other people and other communities. See, when you go after the gay community, they like to say that it's hateful, it's a hate crime, it's being bigoted, but they have no issue coming after constitutional rights, coming after religious rights. You see them go after Christians a lot in the media. So I don't feel bad when I try to expose not only these companies as frauds and only using this community to financially benefit themselves, which they probably deserve. But I think it's at a point where we have to start calling this stuff out. So much time and energy is being spent by these companies that I don't necessarily know that it's going to end at the end of Pride Month. If they see a big enough influx in dollars spent from the gay community at these businesses, they're going to continue to pander to them, regardless of the month. They might change it up a little bit. You know, during Black History Month, it might be gay black trannies instead of just an all umbrella covering gay community. But I want you, the next time you go into your local grocery stores, whether it be Walmart, Kroger's, Myers, wherever it may be. Now, most of these places for a while now, at least over, starting about the time COVID happened, convenient, right? They would have a very small rack at the front of the store where they would have merchandise that pandered to the gay community. Now, as disgusting as I think it is, it would only be a couple different style shirts in adult sizes, pretty generic, pretty plain, that would say something like brown pride, Latino pride, gay pride, which that alone I think is hypocritical, because as soon as you put the word white in front of that, that immediately becomes hate speech. So it's not really inclusive, is it? No. It's pandering at its finest. And I don't think it really is just meant for Pride Month, because it started about a month or two ago. I started noticing these sections getting bigger. And the worst part about it is not only is it getting bigger, which some could argue is just more of a variety for the people who want to spread their hate speech, but now they are offering it in children's clothes, infant sizes. So when they deny that they are trying to sexualize our youth, I would love to see where they're trying to gather that evidence. And one could say that media, Hollywood, has been trying to sexualize children for a long time, but see, there's a difference here. Because sex in itself, if properly introduced throughout a human's life, can be healthy. It is the natural order. It is the way of life. It is how we continue on this earth as a species. Homosexuality is not, however, natural to the human species. And even if you would like to argue or debate that fact, transgender people, it is a mental illness. We are, and I don't think there is much room to debate that. The debate really comes in on how do you handle the mental illness. What all that mental illness involves. Are cross-dressers just as mentally ill as someone who is transsexual? And I honestly, I don't think it matters. What I think matters here is that we are trying to normalize, not just normalize, but make cool a mental illness for children. And it's really starting to take a toll, even on the small country towns in the United States. And I think another important thing is that these companies are spending so much time, energy, and financing on this stupid shit that they are starting to lack in other areas of their company. Just like the United States culture, economy is starting to fail and become hostile and poisonous. Do we really think it's such a coincidence that the more we introduce this LGBT whatever the fuck lifestyle into our culture in America, that the worse things get? Do you think that's just a coincidence? Trump's gone. You can't blame it on Trump anymore. You can't blame it on conservatives anymore. The people in the spotlight, whether it be the minority or not, are the ones in the spotlight. They're the ones taking charge. They're the ones coming up with ridiculous legislation, all kinds of things, right? And I've talked about this before, If they can come out and say, hey, we're going to make it illegal and try to charge parents that try to dispute a young child and mutating his genitals, if they can push that kind of legislature into Congress, put that at the forefront of society in the United States, then why can't conservatives say we need to have anything and everything the United States military has? Not only that, but we should be funding and allowed to build a militia big enough that is undeniable that we could defeat the federal government. I don't think there's too much more of an extreme there. I actually don't think that's extreme at all. But I definitely don't think it's more extreme than kids having the right to mutilate their genitalia without their parents' consent. Or both. Both parents should have to consent. Unless there is only one parent that has custody there should absolutely, without a doubt, unquestionably have to have both consenting parents of a child agree. And even then, you are talking about ruining a child's life. You are talking about promoting and escalating a child into a mental illness that they can potentially feel there's no other alternative to taking their life. And now companies, big companies, not only the liberal companies, but other companies that just want to make a few bucks off of it. Small grocery store chains are taking advantage of our children. And the reason why I want to kind of highlight this, especially when it comes to these local grocery stores, because we know all of us need to go to the store. All of us need groceries to survive. A lot of us don't have the means where we can leave our children at home when we go to the grocery store, and they put it right at the beginning of the store. Not only that, but in my opinion, the use of the rainbow in the gay community is kind of like cigarette brands making candy flavors and then saying that they're not targeting children. Well, the intention may not be there, but regardless, children are going to be impacted by the marketing ploy there, right? If you make it bright, colorful, fun looking, no matter the mental illness or devastation they might see down the road, you have to be aware that this is grabbing kids' attention, and I think they know that. And even if they said, nope, that's not a thing, that's not happening, they're putting it at the front of their stores where it is unmistakably at the forefront to grab people's attention. And like I said, it is not only adult clothes now that look like little kids' clothes, but it is actually little kids' clothes and infant-size clothes. So I really, really think, as hard as it is that we all have to go to the grocery store and we can't just immediately cut them off, we need to try to start working in a way that we can show with our dollars that we do not support this. And I don't think it's cancel culture or anything like that. This is righting a wrong. This is bigger than cancel culture. This is actively trying to step in and save children's lives. Period. And normally I would just talk about this very broadly and say that I think it's wrong, move on, we should try to figure out something to do about it. But now I think I need to constantly bring this to everyone's attention. Because I think it's beginning to not only destroy children's lives, but it is also snowballing into where we have this lifestyle ideology wrecking our economy, the culture, the society in America. Not only that, but it's starting to ruin businesses' ability to function like they are supposed to function. I have to be very broad here for, legal reasons or whatever, because I don't technically know the law, so I can't say which one of the big grocery store chains, whether it be Walmart, Myers, Kroger's, Sam's Club. But let's just say that I know somebody that works for one. Okay? We'll leave it at that. Could be me, could be a family member, could be a friend. And this company is losing its ability to pay its employees right, while they are also putting in extra time, energy, and finances into supporting, pushing mental illnesses onto children. So I have to draw the line here. This is affecting too many things all at once. Something has to be done. There is no reason in the year 2020 for a long period of time. One mistake is one mistake. That is understandable. There are a lot of things that are controlled by humans. Humans are inevitably flawed. Mistakes are going to happen. But repeatedly, when mistakes happen over and over and over again, while in the same time are barely being fixed, if they are being fixed at all, while that same company has designated someone in corporate, probably more staffing than a lot of other areas in their businesses get, to promote this lifestyle to our children. It would be one thing if they weren't so mainstream. It would be another thing if they could run their business properly and still maintain this appeasing of this community. But they cannot. It is very clear to me now that for every brain cell used to promote the gay lifestyle when it comes to marketing for companies, that is a brain cell taken from other areas in their company. And I think we really need to address this very openly. And I know we can't turn back time, but there has to be a point where we stop and say no more mistakes are acceptable. And if you're not willing to make it right, above and beyond the trouble and suffering you have caused for your lack in judgment, lack of awareness, and just flat out not doing your job, if you are not willing to go beyond just correcting the almost eternal mistake at this point, then we have to come to a compromise in other areas. If you cannot run your payroll department because you are too focused on gay marketing to children, you refuse to understand that it's not that difficult. You can have the most complex math equation, but if on paper something doesn't look right over and over and over again, based on something that it has always been, it is very simple. You look, you say, that doesn't seem right. And instead of continuing business that way, you stop it right there. You decide what makes it right. And that we can no longer take our time and energy and resources in other areas until we fix this. Because if we don't, we will not have employees, we will not have a business, therefore we will go out of business. But it's almost like these CEOs at these companies don't care. As long as the, sorry, like I said, upset, been yelling a lot. At the end of the day, as long as the CEOs of these big companies can say, I helped force mental illness on children, I am okay with ruining my employee's life. That's what it feels like right now. So, this is my compromise. For every issue that you cause your employees at these bigger companies where you know you have the ability to financially at the very least financially, make it correct with a swipe of a pen, a push of a button, a direct deposit interaction. See, here's the thing. They like to make you think that a certain time of the week is the only time that they can spend money. They like to tell you that they can only spend certain money in certain places, but this is not the truth. I have seen these companies bend over backwards to fix mistakes, to keep contracts. That is not true. I guarantee you, if any CEO of any of these companies had a big enough issue or felt a big enough impact, or if it was happening to their family, they would have no issue picking up the phone right now, any time of the fucking day, and say, make it right right now, and then go above and beyond to make it right. I want the employee that you fucked their life up for weeks on end to call me right after this and say, that was incredible. I can't believe you moved mountains for me. I know you'll move mountains for gays and transgenders. I know you'll move mountains to push mental illnesses on children, but I didn't think you would do it for me, your employee that has been loyal year in, year out. That is what every CEO at all of these companies should be willing to do for the mistakes that they are making, because they're spending too much fucking time focused on other things that not only don't matter, but that is destroying our society. So at this point, not only do you need to make it right morally, financially, but you have to hear us out. At the very least, you should be taking the children's sizes of these mental illness communities out of your stores. You guys have messed up for far too long. Not only, it's like you're unaware that you're fucking up this bad, and it is impossible. I refuse to believe that. You have to know that. You cannot ramble off statistics like gun violence in the inner city, how many black youths die from gun violence every single day, and not be looking at how many transgender children commit suicide every day. So you know it's there. You have all these study groups. I don't for a minute believe that you are unaware that at the very least this can cause issues for children, and you are still trying to make money off of it while fucking up other areas in your company. How is that okay? So, and nope, we're as conservatives, as Christians, as Republicans, we should not be willing to take donations for political parties and split differences on an equal level. We must see a significant impact in the everyday marketing ploys and pandering of things that we are at our very core against. And if you're not willing to do that, we should not shop there. We should not work there. We should be doing everything in our power to do and inflict as much damage to these companies as that they are doing to our youths and their employees, because they refuse to run their business like they have for the last 50 to 100 years, because they're too focused on other men fucking other men in the ass and how that flag is going to look to include everyone. A lot of these companies, you know, are backing individuals that say that they are offended or they are afraid of the American flag. A lot of these companies are helping. You know, you hear a lot about the gun lobby, but a lot of these companies are steadily donating to the Israeli lobby, to the Democrat lobbies, to the anti-gun lobbies. These are all things that are slowly pushing conservatives out of America and destroying our country. And maybe it's us. Maybe it's not the company. Maybe the company absolutely knows what they're doing. They're willing to do it. And we're just so dumb as Americans that we are willing to help them push us out. Is that what it is? I can't be the only one that sees this, and I damn sure can't be the only one that has been impacted by this. I was telling somebody the other day, if I won the lottery tonight, the first thing I would do is go into all my local grocery stores and buy all this merchandise and burn it in their fucking parking lot. I'm sure I would then be charged with a hate crime, but at that point I win the lottery, I can afford a good lawyer, or else I would be doing it now. If I honestly thought I could get away with it without going to jail or losing my job or financially being ruined, I would be pulling that merchandise dice out of the stores and burning it in their parking lot. I don't know what else to do here. I just know that it can't keep happening. We cannot keep letting the LGBTQ community creep itself in every corner of American life without looking at the coinciding negative effects. They will pay millions and millions of dollars to voice their opinion on other things that they think are a coincidence when it comes to what they believe in, but they refuse to believe that it can be in any other area in life. Hell, they believe just you being born white can negatively affect everyone else. But it is a hate crime. We are bigots to believe that doing something so immoral, unnatural, and disgusting as homosexuality is not negatively having an impact on our children and our society. You're out of your mind. But I just thought I'd say that. I thought it was important enough to come on YouTube. I don't know what YouTube would have grounds to take this video down. Hopefully it gets a little bit more view time than a lot of the other things that I come on here and talk about. But I think that's going to be it for now. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay prepared. God bless. America first. Peace, y'all.